Shalom and welcome to the 22nd part of our short Bible series. Today's title is The Humble Path to Greatness, and I'd like to begin by reading a passage from 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 11. But Jehoshaphat asked, "Is there no prophet of Yahweh here, that we may inquire of Yahweh through him?" An officer of the king of Israel answered, "Elisha, son of Shaphat, is here. He used to pour water on the hands of Elijah." I wonder if you've heard of a man called Duncan Campbell, a very famous Scotsman indeed, who seemed destined for a high position in the Church of Scotland. The gifted preacher could have had his pick of great churches, but Yahweh had another destiny for him. At a time when he was speaking to crowds of up to 5,000 people, Yahweh asked him to go and preach in a small New Hebrides church. For those who don't know where the New Hebrides are, those are isolated, windswept islands in the North Atlantic to the northwest of Scotland, and they were the last place that Duncan would have chosen to go. He wasn't interested at all, but he followed Yahweh's call. He was obedient to the Ruach and led meetings that preceded one of the 20th century's greatest revivals, and probably one of the last. As news of the New Hebrides revival spread, Duncan became a much sought-after speaker worldwide. The career move that friends called foolish became the doorway to greater ministry. That's how it is in the kingdom of Elohim. When Yahweh calls us to give up something, as he did with Duncan Campbell, he has something better in store for us. It may not appear superior in the eyes of the world, and we may never achieve the recognition that Duncan Campbell did, but Yahweh's standards of success and greatness are far, far different from the world's. Obedience to him is preferable to adherence to any human standard of success. So let me leave you with some questions. What could have held Duncan back from obeying Yahweh? Well, I'm sure you can think of many. The desire to be popular, to be successful, to have a good salary, to have a position where one is respected and held in esteem by a congregation. It could have been many, many possible things that might have prevented him from obeying Yahweh, but he chose to obey. So let me ask you another question. Is there an area in which Yahweh wants you to take last place and assume the role of a servant? That does not appeal, of course, to the flesh. It certainly doesn't appeal to the ego. But are you willing to take last place and see what he can do? May Yahweh bless your day.